Jack Perkins joins us today, and Jack, it's an honor of you being with NBC at one time.
Thank you very much. Do you know what those notes are?
You know, I fool around on the piano a little bit, and I can't remember what they are. I think it's C, F sharp, and something else.
No, there is a reason for what they are. The notes are G, E, and C. And the reason those notes are the signature of NBC is because they used to stand in the early days for GEC, General Electric Corporation.
Oh,
which
okay.
Was one of the which helped start NBC.
Right, I didn't know that. So there was a method to the madness. It just wasn't something that sounded good. They picked something that was worked well.
That's right.
Good.
That's right. You call me anytime you want trivia.
Yeah, that's great. Now, your show, the Gulf Coast Journal, we've been watching it the last several months, and we've enjoyed it down here. It'll be on tonight at 8 o'clock on Channel 3, and again repeated Sunday at 2. And just for the midday listeners who aren't familiar with it, give a little background of the project and what's it all about. The
project arose from the desire of the people who run WEDU, the public broadcasting station out of Tampa, to cover the Sarasota area, rather than just sitting there in Tampa being a conduit for public broadcasting programs, albeit wonderful programs. They wanted to do something local, and so they created this magazine show to air once a month, devoted exclusively to the general Sarasota, Venice. One of the great joys, Doug, is to have people come up and say, I've lived here 25 years. I never knew that.
Yeah.
About something that we've been able to do a story on.
Yeah, I've been here 10 years. I didn't know a lot of the stuff you had on there. But then again, I don't get out much.
That's right. You're too busy working.
Now, this week, another friend of our station here has become a good friend. Betty Kimora is going to be on your show, and she's a unique person, isn't she?
She's a wonderful person. I have known her husband for ages because he used to be an executive with NBC in the days I worked there. But I had not met Betty until we came down here and met her for this program, and I certainly had never met a woman who has the particular talent that she does.
Plays the washboard.
She plays the washboard. I haven't heard a washboard played since Spike Jones.
Yeah, that's right.
But she does it and has the greatest, most fun doing. Because you had on your show. She's just a delight.
Good singer, too. Not only does the Dixieland stuff, but a good ballad singer as well.
Yes, she is. She is a good musician beyond the novelty of the washboard playing.
And she does a little performance on the show, I understand?
She sure does. She's not shy.
No, she isn't.
No, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, we had her on, we have a weekend Sunday night big band show here at the station, and she was kind enough to sit in with us and has a CD of wonderful songs. Really almost a jazzophile for the Dixieland. She did a show up in New York, I think, for quite a few years on local New York musicians that play Dixieland and an old-time arrangement, so she's very knowledgeable.
Yes.
Other things on the show about a Croquet Club in Sarasota. Now, that's another thing. I was familiar more with that. That's the one down by Van Wezel, isn't it?
It's not so much the club as it is the woman and her husband. But the woman is indeed the national champion croquet player, and she lives here in Sarasota. And she and her husband are trying to get a complex of croquet courts built that would be and ultimately be the largest in the country. And croquet is not your backyard game. It's played differently. Basic principles same, but it's played differently, and it's a fascinating game to watch. It's a game of great skill.
Almost like golf with putting, really, isn't it?
It's even more than that because you are interacting with the other player, and there's offense and there's defense and there's skill and it's sort of fun. And then we got a story on the wonderful pigs of Venice. I do hope everybody gets a chance to go down around the main street of Venice, Venice Avenue, and see the beautiful assortment of painted plastic pigs that have been done by some wonderful artists, very imaginative, creative people, as a fundraiser for the Venice Arts Council, and they'll be on the streets there for, I think, until January, or is it March? So get down there and just walk the streets and look at all the different ones. Elvis Pigsley, and they're great fun, and the people who did them are great fun. So.
For our midday listeners, Jack has been on the program on the morning show we used to have, and does the radio biography series, which you can hear every morning at approximately 8:45 every day. And Jack, of course, you've seen him for years on NBC covering news around the world. And just talk a little bit about the radio biography series for some of our midday listeners that may not have heard it.
Absolutely. Well, I was one of the hosts of the biography series on A&E, the television program, and for 5, 6 years, and this was an outgrowth of that, and it's called Biography for Radio, and it is a little brief vignette, I believe you all in the radio business call them.
That's right.
And it's just a couple of minutes of biographical anecdote about a different person each day, and they're written in such a way that the subject of the story isn't revealed until the very end, so you get to sort of play along and see how long it takes you to figure out who it is we're talking about that did this or that.
What they call a late reveal in the business.
Yep, and it's sort of it's a lot of fun to work on them and do them, and we got an awfully good response. They're running on something like 200 stations around the country. So.
Yeah, we're happy to have it.
I'm delighted that WIBQ picked them up.
Great to have that as part of our daily programming here on the station.
Good, good.
Now, next month, Bobby Vinton is going to be on the show, and we found out together that Bobby lived down here.
And that interview and story was set up on your air one morning.
That's
when
right.
I was in your studio, and Bobby was calling in as one of your on-phone guests, and he and I chatted, and I said, we'd love to do a story about you for the Gulf Coast Journal. And he said, "Sure, come on down." And we came on down, and this is just a magnificent man. And aside from the old teenage heartthrob stuff, this is a magnificent man who is a great family man and has a beautiful family complex for his mom and his son and himself and his wife. They're in a complex of houses on Manasota Key, and living the good life and really enjoying it.
Really one of the legends in the music business when you look back at it.
Absolutely. I mean, Bobby Vinton is the guy who had more top 10 hits in the early part of the rock and roll years than anybody.
Yeah, he continues to perform.
He continues to perform, and audiences just love it, the nostalgia of it, the wholesomeness of it. Absolutely. I mean, and everybody has heard the songs, and once he starts singing them, they say, "Oh yeah, roses are red, my dear violet. Oh yeah, melody of love. Oh yeah." So he's a fascinating guy, and that's going to be a nice story. I'm sure that'll be next month.
And this month's issue is tonight, 8 o'clock, Channel 3, and then if you miss it, you can watch it again on Sunday afternoon at 2.
No, if you miss it, you can't watch it again.
Well, that's true. You're right. You have another chance to see it. There you go. Look, like I'm interviewing an English teacher.
Yeah. There you go. I'm sorry that as you are on now at noon that I don't get to talk to Jessica.
I just told her before the break that you asked for her, and she's very happy that you miss her.
I have high regard for her and her work there, and I hope that the station continues to prosper.
Thanks. Yeah, she's going to be she does an entertainment report for us, so that'll be on a little bit later today. But yeah, we're doing well here, and we're happy to have you aboard, and look forward to having you down in the studio again when you get an opportunity, maybe around the Olympics, since you cover the Olympics for NBC. That might be fun if you could come down and talk about that with us one of these days.
Well, that would be nice. I'll try to do that.
Okay, Jack.
Thank you, Doug.
Good talking to you.
Bye-bye.